So hey, I'm Matt Flood. I'm a recent Armor Bullet graduate. Following that, I finished Ranger School and Airborne School. Following that, I went to Ranger School and then Airborne School, as well as the Army Reconnaissance Course. My experience at ABOLC was a pretty positive one. I got there in January after commissioning in August. They have a concept called snowbirds where you show up early and you just train with the organization and work there. It's a good opportunity to get involved with the organization before you actually join the course. The course is broken down into 3 phases. The first phase is a hands-on training with the equipment itself, so you'll be in the tanks and the Bradleys. There'll be a variety of hands-on tests with how to load the weapon systems, how to break down the 50 cal, and there's a variety of different tests that are graded that have to be passed for you to move on. You also do Humvee rollover training, and all this will occur in Harmony Church, kind of in the main post area. You won't be in the field operating these pieces of equipment at this time. There'll be a vehicle identification test. You'll have to do, first phase consists of the easier tests. Don't see a lot of recycles in the first phase of ABOLC, but it's a good phase. You learn a lot there. Second phase is the phase that sucks. You can see a lot of recycles in this phase. It's about a month-long op order phase. Armor Bulk is going to do op orders in more detail than you'll see in most of the other branches. You'll do 3 orders. There'll be offense, defense, and a reconnaissance order. And those will be followed by the gate order, which has to be passed in order to move on to the next phase. With these orders, you can expect to get your op order issued to you at like 3 or 4 in the afternoon and stay up for the remainder of the night and up until the morning when you brief. The way that the op orders are done changes pretty much by class. We used to have to do phase sketches that went on the wall. They would take 5, 6, 7 hours to complete. I think they're getting away from that and working sand tables now. But op order phase, second phase ABOLC, definitely the worst phase. But then you move on to the third phase, which is your field exercises, which I would say is the best part of ABOLC. You'll do a little over a month in the field. First, you'll be on the reconnaissance side, operating 6 Humvee platoons, varying equipment and weapon systems on those, and you'll learn the in-depth field application of reconnaissance with the platoon. It's really entertaining. You learn a shit ton of stuff. I don't know if I guess on here.
Bro, keep doing it.
You learn a lot. You'll learn a lot about indirect fires, and you get a really good indirect fires class. And then you'll use dismounted OPs as well as mounted observation, using the LRAS and other thermal and other optics to call indirect fire on assets and screen defensive positions for higher assets, and mostly for battalion. Once you're done with the reconnaissance side, you move over to the tank side. You'll drive the tank, you'll be a loader, you'll be the gunner, and you'll be the tank commander. You get 3 weeks, up to 2 to 3 weeks of operations in the tanks. You're doing mounted platoon versus platoon operations with miles gear. Super realistic training, and probably my best experience at ABOLC was tank side field operations. You get to be issued an op order, flip it, create your own, put it in the sand table, brief to your guys, and then go and execute a mission. These missions can last 3 or 4 hours, and really realistic field operations. Basically running that operation to completion and hopefully defeating the enemy. You'll do that in the offense and the defense, as well as combined operations where you implement your reconnaissance assets to go out ahead of your tank element, and they do a reconnaissance mission followed by an attack by the tanks. At the end of that, there's CCME. It's combined operations. ABOLC and IBOLC come together. You get a captain from MCCC to come. He'll be the company commander, and you guys do combined operations where the reconnaissance elements will go out the night before. Then, however, the company commander decides the infantry assets may move, then followed by the tanks, culminating with a large engagement on a town. And that's a 2-day operation as well. So The application in the field is realistic. It was really enjoyable, and you'll learn a lot. And then with the reconnaissance side, all armor officers are required to go to the Army Reconnaissance course following graduation of ABOLC, where you'll further hone your tactical application of reconnaissance in a dismounted environment, as well as utilizing strikers, the ICVs, which you won't get to experience in ABOLC. So overall, pretty good experience.
That was solid.